All right, hello, hello. We are back. House in Fata Morgana tonight, and I'm just excited to jump in. So let's go ahead and do so. Let's see, what do we got? We tried and failed to squeeze past hungry, probably hangry too in hindsight, crowd to the nun and got yeeted out of the dining hall. We aren't used to getting such little reactions to our appearance from the people around us, but it's nice. Yukimasa found us snooping at the door to the tower and questioned how we knew about his schedule and profession, so we carefully avoided implicating Mel and asked about his background. He's from beyond the Silk Road and says he has no name. Yukimasa is far more reasonable and stable than he was as Bestia, similar to his disposition in the visions Giselle didn't show us that we resonated with. After butchering his name and getting tackled by a surprisingly healthy Nellie, Mel talked to us about Morgana and how we both remind him of her and feel like a divine prophet. The siblings plotted with us to get info on the nun's relationship with him. During a private chat with the nun, she denied having anything with Yukimasa and attributed her closeness with him to him being grateful for her feeding him at her previous church. She told us her name is Marie, which confused us about the relation to Maria and the nature of the reconstructions. We shook her up by revealing the source of the saint's blood, but she got offended and said the tower is just the Lord's piggy bank that has few guards because of the frequent assassination attempts. The sunlight made us collapse, and we woke up before a Morgana prior to her capture. Our voice can't warn her about the future, so we think this is a dream world. We told her about how we used to be entranced by her voice and shared our intersex struggles to get her to listen to our new perspective on her. She invited us to understand her as a fellow non-human, but we can't stay in this time period. Present Morgana taunted us that talking to her past self will change nothing. I just want to, gush about that scene again because I keep thinking about it. It was such a good scene. Just going back and being able to talk to her, before everything, right? We've seen her after all of this corruption. We've talked to her after all of this corruption. And yeah, we've kind of seen her past, but actually being able to talk to past her and seeing what she was actually like before that, it's definitely kind of a kick in the face of realizing that she wasn't even normal's a weird way to put it, but she wasn't even, I mean, she had this big purpose even as a child, which is ridiculous. If you look at how small she is and how much she was carrying, it's so tragic. I think I'm becoming a Morgana apologist, so sorry. Um, Nellie was watching over us when we woke up, and Mel took us to an awkward dinner with Yukimasa as he tried to probe us for info on how much we know of his crimes. The Lord's name is Jean-François Bonnier from one of the books we had, further muddling the reconstruction stuff. Giselle got spooked by a ghost sighting that was actually Maria's past life. We accidentally chased Maria to the nun, whose earthly name is actually Pauline. Maria is a prostitute and an old friend of hers, and she's dragging us to their dwelling because she figures we have no balls. I mean, she's not wrong either, so... Okay. Let's do this. Oh yeah, Nellie's going to be here. We're gonna have all three of us together! It's all three of the girls and us. Alright.
Oh, hello, dearest Michael. What brings you here so late? Did you come to see me?
Who's the pipsqueak?
She lives here. I took her in.
There we go. We have the kind of balls that matter. We don't have all the balls. But I don't think anyone has all the balls, so...
Oh, it's a strange lady, and she's wearing almost nothing. Are you not cold in that?
Girl, you don't make it in this business worrying about the cold.
What kind of work do you do? Your clothes are really pretty colors, like something a princess would...
What? What? Nellie? Sorry. Like something a princess would wear. I apologize. I read it correctly and sat there and went, I couldn't have read that, right? Did I? You're correct. We don't have physical testes, but we do have BDE. So that's the only thing that matters.
In a way, I kinda am like a princess. A wicked princess who goes around Maria! She does not need to hear that. Oh, what's the fuss? I'm just giving her a glimpse of the real world. And you think now is the time for that?
Yeah, I'm a pillow princess. Does that count? Look at her. She deserves to be a pillow princess. So, um, this isn't awkward or anything. Also, what's this dearest Michael about? You two a thing or something? Seems a bit young for you. No, that's just what she calls me.
That's what I call my brothers. He's my number two brother, but we're not related. My real brother's back at the church. He's got the same hair color as me, and we look a little alike.
Oh, really? Must be a pretty good-looking fella if he's related to you.
Of course he is. I wouldn't let him be my brother if he didn't look good.
Amazing. The more that Nellie talks, the more I love her, so that's quite the assertion, Nellie.
It's so lively in here.
I'm stranded in uncharted territory.
Oh, I bet you're stiff as a board out there. Relax. Deep breaths.
You're asking the impossible.
All right, well, sit down and make yourselves comfortable, everyone. I'll go make some tea and something to snack on while I'm in there. It's a girls' night in. This'll be fun. Why is Michael here, though?
You have no idea how much I wish I knew. Oh, that's not important. But you know what is? 3 girls, 1 guy. That's gotta be rough. Maria, no. Actually, make that 4 girls. Giselle, no.
Huh? Why would that be rough?
Tell me, you've got 3 girls in 1 room. What do you think they're going to be talking about?
Love, romance.
And there he sits, all alone in a pink cloud of girl talk.
That sounds uncomfortable.
And we get to watch him twist and squirm. I love Maria. I forgot how much I loved Maria.
That sounds like fun.
What do they think I am? Their plaything? I didn't just sense you smiling too, did I?
Oh, no, not at all. I was just thinking I feel kind of bad for you.
Why don't I believe you? We don't have time for this. Morgana's still locked up in that tower, even as we speak.
I get where you're coming from, but I don't think this will turn out to be a waste of time. All 3 of them have ties to the men with the keys. We could very well learn something from their conversation that could lead to a breakthrough.
So I say we participate and see where it goes. What's this? Already friends, you two?
Yep, I like this new lady a lot.
She's a sweet little girl. What's not to love?
You know, that kind of makes me jealous. It took you a long time to warm up to me, Nellie. What? No, it didn't. I don't know. It felt to me like you were keeping your distance. Well, you know, it's not easy to work up the courage to talk to a real live saint.
Oh, Nellie, you know it's not that big a deal. I'm not even a real saint. So, what's the conversation?
Love, romance.
How about your taste in guys? Oh.
Do you have anyone? A crush? A special someone?
You do, don't you? I am suddenly back playing Pearl again. About Mystic Maya, special someone. I'm going to need you to elaborate what about this is reminding you of college. I love it, but I'm very curious about what part of this. I am a servant of God the Father, so no, I do not have anyone. They are very proudly failing the Bechdel test. Like, look, they're failing the Bechdel test, but they're making us uncomfortable at the same time, which feels like feminism, I don't know.
Oh, come on, we won't tell, promise. Forbidden love, so romantic, so exciting.
You know, I think you should go first, Nellie.
I like princely boys. My brother is the closest thing to my ideal. Oh, and I mean my real brother.
You don't say.
And you, Maria? What kind of guys do you like?
Me? I like me a nice, subservient man. Someone who knows I'm in charge. Yeah, you do. Subtlety isn't her strong suit, huh?
Why not someone you can always count on, or encouraging and supportive, or sweet and kind? Someone like that would be.
Guys like that only light you little tween girls' fires. Things get a little more complicated as you get older. Life stops being quite so simple. So you start wanting to find someone who'll make the daily load of shit even a little bit easier to swallow.
Really?
I'm not sure I want to grow up anymore. You do not, Nellie. Taxes suck. Though I guess that's partly a result of who I am, so who knows? Maybe you'll have it a little better.
I hope so. Okay, now it's your turn, Sister Marie.
Me? I suppose I could tell you who my favorite angels are.
No, it has to be someone real. You have to have someone.
I already told you. There's someone else who hasn't gone yet. Oh no.
I can go after that, can't I?
Who else is there? Oh, Michael. Oh, honey.
You know, that's
Not a half bad idea.
agreed. I want to know too.
No dodgy answers either. What?
What kind of girl do you like, Michael?
You're not supposed to bring me into the conversation.
Lighten up, loosen up, let us have it.
But it's a very complicated personal matter. Then how about we make things simple? Turn it into a choice. A choice? Of the three of us, who ticks the most boxes on your complicated taste? If they give us the choice, we need to start thinking about this now. I know who my choice is, but we'll go with whoever chat decides. That's fair, yeah. So when I was living on campus, the group of friends I primarily hung out with were all girls, or at least AFAB, and I remember feeling awkward when they kept laughing at jokes about balls. Yeah, I can see that. Especially because in college, like, there's a lot of jokes about balls that, as a girl that was in college, in hindsight, just really weren't funny. We are definitely not picking Nellie. I'm with you there. So between Pauline and Maria, who would you like to pick?
Don't think too hard about it.
Just pick one. Me.
The teensy tiny one.
Or the nun. Who will it be? What on earth have I gotten myself into? The way they're staring at me. I'm not getting out of this. Are we just gonna pass out? Oh my god, we are getting the choice. Here, we'll save. Oh, we have additional answers too. So Maria, Nellie, Pauline, I already have someone, or I'm not interested in women. All of which I think are fantastic answers, but what do we want to go with? And I'm going to save so that we can go back if we would like to. I mean, we do technically already have someone. We could make Giselle flustered. All right, let's start with Giselle, then Maria, then Pauline. Okay. So, I already have someone. What, really? Pfft, that's no fun. You can still tell us what lights your fire, at least, even if you've already got someone. Loving someone is a beautiful thing. I will pray for God to grant you both his blessing.
What's she like, though? I want to know. Tell us about her.
What's she like? Hmm. She she's always smiling. She's a very cheerful, energetic person. The opposite of me in many ways. Aw. So is she staying at the mansion with you? No, I'm here alone.
Does she not feel the same way about you?
Unrequited love, is it? You poor thing. It won't be cheap, but I'll keep you company for the night if you want. She loves me too.
Then why isn't she here? If you're a couple, you're supposed to stay together. Did you leave her behind when you left?
Well, kind of, yeah, in a manner of speaking, I guess. She's in the void. She couldn't come with because she possibly currently doesn't have a physical body. Maybe. You are correct. Of the three girls, Pauline is definitely probably the one most similar to Giselle, so. Circumstances prevent us from seeing each other right now. I can always feel her there by my side, but I can't see her.
What circumstances?
Now, Nellie, don't be prying. It's a personal matter, one I'm sure isn't easy for him.
Will you ever be able to see her again?
I have faith that I will, because when I see her next, in the flesh, I need to take her by the hands, look in her eyes, and tell her something very important.
Michael, is she somewhere really far away?
How do we answer that? She's in our head, but not in our head? There we go. I'll reunite with her, but first I need to convince Pauline's boy toy to stop being a dick.
Or is there or is there something else getting in your way?
Women are fickle creatures, though. You may think she'll always love you, but spend enough time apart, and who knows how those feelings might change. We're not as bullheaded as you guys tend to be. While you're here, away from her, she could find someone else she likes. Yeah, sometimes I can still hear her voice. Gay, gay, homosexual, gay. Or maybe she already has.
I would never!
Her feelings will never change. She's spent more time waiting for me than you can possibly imagine. Though there were times she lost sight of what she was waiting for. Deep down in her heart, she never forgot about me. I know that for a fact. I don't buy that sickly sweet, her love is eternal crap one damned bit. It's short-sighted, ignorant. People change. Their feelings change. It's the ones you think you care most about who will inevitably stab you in the back one day. I mean, we don't know what has happened to this Maria, but knowing that what happened to the future Maria, the other Maria, I'm going to guess that she's got some trauma around this kind of trust stuff. So, yeah, she literally spent centuries pining for us. I really don't think she's going to find another guy. Look, at the moment, we're the only guy she gets to see, so that's what people do. You've just never had the pleasure. But one day, you will. You'll taste the bitterness of betrayal. Is there anyone in your life you care about more than yourself? Not a one. You wouldn't understand what we have together then. But someday, if you ever find someone who means that much to you, I think you'll come to understand that it is possible to love someone, even if they do sometimes cause you pain. You're telling this to a whore. That already has me out of the running.
I don't think that's true. Anyone can find someone no matter who they are. It doesn't matter how old you are or what kind of work you do, or if you're a noble or a peasant.
Oh, come on. You're making it sound like I'm the bad guy here.
In this case, she might actually be more mature than you, Maria.
Oh, shove it.
Now that Michael's answered, it's your turn.
Okay, do we want to go back and see what Maria and Pauline answer, or do we want to keep going from here? Since it doesn't seem like there was a bad answer, or at least that was a bad answer. Yeah, there we go. Look, Maria, I appreciate the sluttery, but stop dunking on true love. Look, Jacopo just fucking ruined her. I don't know how yet, but I'm gonna blame it on him. So, all right, let's save here on a different slot and go back. You got it. Okay, we'll save here. Oops. Okay, and then we will load our previous save. And let's choose Maria this time. Me? So you're into me, huh? Want to spend the night together then? I'll even give you a discount. Uh, I was simply answering your question, not propositioning you.
Why would he need a discount to spend the night with you?
Oh, Nelly. We'd be doing more than just talking, girl. Oh, no, it'd be grown up fun if you know what I mean. Maria, I already asked you not to talk about that around Nelly. I'll quit being so overprotective. She's not a toddler. She knows what I'm talking about.
But grown up fun?
You know what a man and a woman do in bed.
That's vulgar. You're both vulgar. You're vulgar for mentioning it, Maria, and you're vulgar for paying for it, Michael.
I'm not paying for anything.
That's something you can only do with someone you really, really love after lots and lots and lots of time getting to know each other and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's not something you pay money for. You're not even allowed to kiss if you're not in love.
That's about right. For most people. There we go. I'm not actually into you, but 2 of the 3 voices in my head have the hots for you. Look, we love her. Sorry, Giselle.
That means you too, Maria. You have to stop this instant.
If I stop, I won't be able to make a living, and you'll find me starved to death in an alley somewhere.
What?
That's my life. I don't have to tell you what kind of work I do now, do I? Out there in the real world, there are more women than you can imagine who have to live like that. Swallowing their pride, selling their bodies, sucking up to people. Don't look so disillusioned. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to make you feel bad. And just so we're clear, I'm not discontented with how I ended up. If anything, I mostly just hope you don't think worse of me for it.
I don't. Not when we were just getting to be friends. I'm just surprised, that's all.
As you should be. And I hope you keep right on the straight and narrow. Behind the 3rd door, she was driven by a desire for vengeance. But I guess she's not really a bad person, huh? I only answered the question because they were pressing me to. I'm not actually interested in her, I promise. Took you long enough to remember me. I'm sorry. It's okay, I know. Though I think it would have been better if you'd said you already had someone instead. I assumed there were only the 3 choices. You need to learn to think outside of the box. That said, can I ask you something? Yes. Why did you pick Maria? Her breasts also look like 2 obese brats. Whole reason. Yeah, you're not into her? Damn. I mean, thank you for remembering me. Because she's bright and energetic. Like you. That was a good answer, so I'll let you off the hook. Thank goodness. All right, so we have done Maria, so let's go ahead and do Pauline now. See if we can't get anything out of her. Huh? Me? I know, I know you didn't say so, but we are going to do the I'm not interested in women thing because I'm so curious where we're going to veer off there.
A lot of guys are into that, yeah? I'm sorry. As a servant of God the Father, I cannot reciprocate your feelings. Shot down on the spot. Poor Michael.
Save your pity. You asked me to choose, so I chose. I didn't mean anything more than that.
I don't know.
I'm not convinced you didn't fall for her the moment you laid eyes on her.
Poor Michael.
Listen to me.
What about me do you like? Out of curiosity.
What about you? It'll only make things worse if I say she seemed like the safest option. No real reason. How is that a better answer, Michael?
It's not that hard to see what he likes. You're nice to everyone. You rarely get angry. You're hot as hell. And you've got huge knockers.
Maria, please.
How crude, dearest Michael.
Could you stop heckling me already?
Michael, there's something I need to ask you.
What is it, Giselle?
Did you fall for me because I have large breasts?
No, absolutely not.
If I didn't, would you still love me?
Of course I would. I would still love you if you were a worm, Giselle.
All right, in that case, I'll pray for God to make me completely flat.
But...
See, I knew it. You wouldn't love me anymore.
Of course I would. I just
don't know why you would ask him to take back something he blessed you with. You men are all the same.
How does liking big breasts make me a bad person? The hell are you doing over there, Michael? Honing your charades game? Don't worry about it.
Does that mean that other boys won't be interested in me if mine aren't big too?
I can massage them for you so they'll get big.
You won't be too rough.
I'll be very gentle.
Maria.
Nellie. This couldn't get any more uncomfortable. Alright, so that was Pauline. I don't know how that one was more uncomfortable than Maria. Alright. Let's do our final option. Maria, stay away from children. I mean, I will say that is, I don't know if it's a myth or not, but it is something that went around, at least when I was growing up, that if you massage your chest area, that they will grow bigger. So, I'll let you decide if you want to do Nelly, but I want to do I'm not interested in women. I want to see how this one falls apart.
Michael, are you...
What? No. No, I didn't mean it like that. I only said that because I thought it would be disrespectful to you to choose any of them. Okay, sounds good. We will pick Nelly after this. Hence, I'm not interested.
I kind of get what you were trying to say, yes. But your choice of words is really asking to be misinterpreted.
Oh, you swing that way?
I'm sorry for putting you in such an uncomfortable position. No, you're not going after my Mel, are you, Michael?
What?
What'd I tell you? That's why you wanted to get close to him, isn't it? No, that's impure. The two of you together in each other's arms, roses sprouting all up again around you.
Oh my god. Girl has been hitting the yaoi manga. Slow down, Nelly.
Although, that might be better than him putting his hands all over some strange girl.
Stop, please.
It would mean I could keep both of my brothers around for twice the pampering. That actually sounds really nice.
Yeah, Nelly the Fujol. For the love of God, stop fantasizing about it.
Ooh, I know. First, we'll need to buy a new house. One where you can have a room to yourselves, so I can stay out of your way.
Stop it. You're going to make me sick.
Huh? You mean you don't like Mel then?
Absolutely not.
What about, The Lord's bodyguard.
Pauline's look at us like, look, she says she's not interested in him, so never.
The Lord himself?
No more, please. I don't like any of them. I already have a partner, so I'm not interested in anyone else.
And this partner is a man?
She's a woman. You know, I might not have had the best reaction at first, but to be honest, I'm pretty okay with it. It can be hard keeping it bottled up when you're around others, so just know you've got me you can be yourself around. Are you even listening to me?
Love can take many forms.
You too.
I'll be happy to help if you change your mind about Mel.
I can't take this anymore.
I do feel bad for you, but you did kind of bring this on yourself.
All right. Is Nellie going to grow up to be a cut queen too? I mean, look, girl knows what she wants, and it is a big house with her brother and her other brother, who's her brother's lover, so that they can just fall over her. And you know what? She's valid. All right, let's try Nellie. This is the real best part of the game. Exactly. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. Someone say something.
Do you know how old I am, Michael?
14 or so?
And how old are you?
27?
Pedophile. That is a bit of an age gap, I think.
If you're going to be like that about it, then don't make her an option. I never thought you'd actually pick her, you know?
Everyone has their preferences, and sometimes there's nothing you can do about them, but some things you should keep to yourself.
I had no idea, Michael. Slow down. Don't all dogpile me at once. That isn't why I chose her. You're welcome to defend yourself, but choose your words carefully, or we'll tie you up and throw you out into the cold. Nellie, she thinks of me as a brother, and she's the one I've had the most time to get to know. So I chose her because of the three of you. I'm the closest with her.
So you don't have any inappropriate feelings for me?
Not in the slightest.
I don't know. You can say that you don't, but that doesn't prove you're not secretly into that.
I'm telling you, I'm not. All right, then prove it. Prove it? Yep, prove you're not a dirty pedo. How? I already have someone I love, so I'm not interested in children.
Oh? Well, then tell us about her. Prove you're not just making it up to get out of the hole you dug yourself. What do you like about her? When'd you fall for her? All the juicy details. I want to know too. Tell us. If my number one brother ever gets a girlfriend, I'll slap her silly. But for you, my number two brother, I'll gladly congratulate you. Let's start with her looks. Tell us what you like about her body.
Well, this is a sticky subject. This feels like a trap. Yeah, I would not blame them for just killing us on the spot. Okay, well, this is a trap. Are we just going to black out?
Well, I'll be damned. It sounds like you really are head over heels for this chick. That's kind of anticlimactic. I had no idea you felt that way about me.
I want to bury myself alive.
I'm amazed you even noticed some of those things.
Could you please drop it?
Oh, but why? You just made my day.
You have no idea how humiliating it is. Being forced to say all that while I know you're listening? It's almost worse than being tortured.
You two are away from each other right now, though, aren't you? How sad.
Yes, it is. While she may be here with me, I can't actually see her there.
It's hard being away from someone you love. I'll be praying you get to see her again soon.
Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and reload our original save where we said the right answer and not Nellie. There we go. My girlfriend is totally real. She just lives in Canada.
And what's a Canada? All right, now that Michael's answered, it's your turn. What? Do I really have to? You do. Everyone else has answered. Well, like I said, I don't have anyone. Oh, don't forget about the tea I made. It's going to get cold. Anyway, I'm more interested in catching up with you, Maria, than talking about boys. What happened after you left? All right, sure. We can talk about that.
An orphanage.
Yep. Neither of us had parents or family, so we were raised in an orphanage. Beyond the second door, Pauline had a family and seemed to be quite well off. I guess that's not the case here? So you grew up together then? Sister Marie's never told me about her childhood before. I don't like to talk about the past. Not the best of memories, after all. I'd say we're both lucky we made it this far in life. You still keep in touch with that shit heap of a director? Now, don't talk about him like that. He's not a bad person. Yeah, I know. In your mind, everyone's not a bad person. He isn't really. But yes, he stops by occasionally to check in. He was the one who set me on the path to becoming a nun.
He always was fond of you. Perfect little angel you were.
I doubt he liked me any more than anyone else. Compared to you, I was a damned gremlin. You were a naughty girl, weren't you, Maria?
The naughtiest girl around.
I'd throw rocks at the walls, making all these little holes, and one time I even filled the director's shoes with dog shit.
That would make anyone angry.
I wasn't always a little twat, mind you. The director either loved you or hated you.
There was no middle ground.
And if he didn't like you, life was hell. He'd make you go without supper or force you to sleep outside, shit like that. That's awful. I had no idea he was doing that to you. You could have said something.
Like that would have made a difference. You adored the damn director. You never would have believed me over him. Once you put your trust in someone, you refused to believe they could be anything less than perfect. Completely blinded by faith.
I don't...
You do. The only reason you're willing to believe me now is because it's been so long. And because there are other people here.
This would probably be a good time to step in, Michael. Change the subject or something. I feel kind of bad for her.
What if the director is Pauline's biological father who had her out of wedlock? Maybe. It's a good question. So, how long were you two together?
Until we were around 10, I think. Does that sound about right?
Sounds about right, yeah. I got fed up with everything and ran off. Ended up at a brothel. Been a whore ever since. It's been, what, 10 years now? What if, oh my god. What if Maria's one of the whores at the whorehouse that, took in, Morgana? I could completely just be throwing random shit at a wall there, but I have hope. I have so much hope. I'm practically a veteran.
Did you like life at the brothel better than the orphanage, Maria?
Between the two, I'd take the brothel any day. There, I've got friends and colleagues. Although, I did lose a whole bunch of them 4 years ago. Oh my god, what if I'm right? 4 years ago?
I remember hearing word of a brothel raided by bandits around that same time. Was that where you worked, Maria?
Yep. And what a nightmare that was. I mean, why the hell would you raid a whorehouse? Why not go after some noble's estate, or the damn lord for that matter? A brothel? Raided by bandits? 4 years ago. What's the matter? Trying to make those forehead wrinkles permanent? I'm so excited that I figured that out like 2 whole seconds before the reveal. They probably just set me up for it, but um, I'm proud of myself. It's fine. It's the best thing I've done all day. I know I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm beginning to think Maria might have had some contact with Morgana in life as well. Oh, 4 years ago would make Morgana 12, and where was she then? Ah, I have a question for you, Maria. Was there a girl by the name of Morgana at that brothel? You know Morgana! So my suspicion was right. Yeah, Morgana was there. Me and the other girls looked after her together. But after the bandits razed the place, I never saw her again. What a travesty that was. It was chaos. Only a handful of us even survived. I figured she'd either been killed or sold off somewhere. But if you know her, that means she's alive, right? That's great to hear. I've been worried about her ever since. Michael, Morgana's the Saintess's name, isn't it? Exactly. Well, now Morgana's at the tower, and we need all your boyfriend's keys to save her. That's what you told me. Huh? Saintess? That's right, Nellie. That is indeed the name of the person who performed your miracle. And she's locked up in the tower now. Locked up? You told Nellie all that nonsense too, Michael? It's not nonsense. Mel told me everything. It's all true. He feels terrible about what he's done, but he can't set her free by himself. Now you too. We need the other 2 keys. The Lord has one and his bodyguard has another. After learning the truth, I knew I had to tell you, but I was too afraid you wouldn't believe me. And if you didn't believe me, something bad might happen to Mel. It's not good to tell lies, Nellie. And the same goes for your brother as well. What? The Lord stores his valuables in that tower. That's why it's locked up and you can't get in. Or are all 3 of you after his wealth? Of course not. And you, Michael, you need to stop planting these strange suspicions and... See, this is exactly what I was talking about. You haven't changed one bit. You won't even give someone the time of day if they're saying anything that contradicts someone you've decided you trust. Can the watchtower, was it? Can you not bust the door down? I'm still lost as hell here. But the long and short of it is, Morgana might be in that tower? She is, yes. It might be possible to break down the door with a dozen or so people to help, but that's infeasible. Besides, opening the door isn't our only objective. So we need the other keys. Correct. It's not true. He would never do that to someone. People think he's scary and mean, but they're wrong. He's a sweet, respectable man. He would never lock up an innocent girl, even though everyone else is saying he would. If I don't believe in him, then who will? You know, Pauline, I thought Maria was going to be the hard one to get on our side. I did not expect it to be Pauline. So you are more than acquaintances. If you really have that much faith in his goodness, then tell us that after all you've seen what he's done. Pauline, assuming, hypothetically, there really is someone in the tower, there's nothing I could do about it. I'm a nun. I have no real authority here. I'm just a pretty face. Nevertheless, he started this to help you. So if you tell him to stop, he might actually listen. Please, Sister Marie, help us set the Saintess free. Your ability to trust someone so completely is actually pretty amazing. But if you let it turn into blind faith, it'll come back and bite you in the ass. Exactly. Pauline, sweetie, we're here to save your boyfriend's soul, and the first step to forgiveness is acknowledging the sin. Like, please. If you don't help us here, he's going to murder you in your next life.
Could I please ask the two of you to leave? An old friend of mine might be being held prisoner right now, and you expect me to just scamper on home? Go.
She is a little too innocent, perhaps, but I don't think her faith is entirely blind. You are a woman who is capable of making decisions for herself. I know you are. Yes, you've placed your complete faith in one man, but that hasn't stopped you from considering what you should do with your own life. You were never short sighted.
We only met yesterday. What can you possibly know about me? Give me some time. Until tomorrow. Time to think about what to do.
As you wish. Exactly. Maria's joining us on the rescue mission. I'm so excited. I still love her.
So, is all that really true?
It is.
How do you know any of that, though?
Because. What story should I go with this time? Should I use the letter again?
Forget it. That's not important. The pipsqueak ain't one to go throwing around accusations like that for shits. Point is, I'll take your word for it. And if we get the door open and it turns out there's no one there, no harm done.
So you believe me?
You're not lying, are you?
No, I'm not.
Then that's that.
Frustrating part is, winning over a whore isn't going to get you very far towards fixing anything.
That's not true.
Just knowing you believe me is reassuring.
If you say so.
Could I ask you something? You did come here in search of the Lord, didn't you? He has the third key, without which we cannot get into the tower, and my gut tells me you're the one who's going to make that possible.
Why would you think that?
Because you have a very strong connection to him. You may think I sound crazy, but your souls are inextricably bound together.
Our souls? Don't even joke.
I know how it sounds, but that's the only way.
Okay, you got me. I'm done lying. You're right, I came here looking for the Lord. There are rumors going around saying he's been seen coming in and out of the church here. So I figured I'd take the opportunity to cave his fucking skull in.
Oh, good.
What? What you gonna do about it? Call the guards on me?
No, I won't.
But tell me, why do you want to kill him? Why? What, are you not from around here? Well, you should know he's one hell of an aggressive ruler. I won't deny he's done wonders for the economy. The city's a great place to be if you're a merchant. Taxes are lower than anywhere else, and all you need is enough money and you can buy citizenship. But for the people who've lived here our whole lives, the poor, the peasants, those who need the most help, it's only getting harder to stay afloat. The gap's getting bigger by the day. While the main streets looking lavish and lively, people are literally starving to death on the back streets. He tore down this vineyard that's been around for generations to make room for more shops. And sure, you can import some damn fine wine from some other city. But where does that leave everyone who can't afford it?
That reminds me. In the third door, he ran some other company's factory out of business for his own profit. Different businesses, same practices. Maria says eat the rich, and you know what? I'm with her. Eat the rich.
Giselle? The merchants, especially those who came in from other cities, get treated like kings, but the Lord still has plenty of enemies.
I see. So you're someone who doesn't think highly of him, then?
Pretty much.
What would killing one man accomplish, though?
Not much, probably. It'd make me feel a hell of a lot better, though.
Do you not actually know the Lord in person, then? I've met him before, so I know who to look for. But that's about it. There's none of this, what'd you call it, inextricably linked souls crap. No fucking thank you. Maria says she's met him, and Morgana mentioned seeing prostitutes at the Lord's Manor when she was first taken there. Could she have been one of them then? Changing the subject a bit, there's something I wanted to ask you about Pauline. Hmm? Frankly, her being a nun, it doesn't make a damn lick of sense to me. What do you mean? I mean, this isn't what she wanted with her life. When we were kids at the orphanage, she wasn't exactly this pillar of faith. We said grace before meals, but only because those were the rules. All ceremony, nothing more to it. She appears to be quite devout to me. I'm thinking something had to have made her that way, forced her into the role. The girl I knew was pretty unexceptional. Had her head in the clouds, though, so we never really got along. But she was always talking about how when she left the orphanage, she'd find the perfect man, fall in love, get married. You could practically see the hearts in her eyes. They'd buy a comfortable house, have a few kids, maybe get a dog. It'd be a happy family, warm, peaceful. And every time she told me this, I'd snort and tell her she needed to get herself a more original dream, at which point she'd start crying and calling me mean. Wow, Maria was an impressively jaded 10-year-old girl. She was a girl in love with love, and now she's a bloody nun. I guess it kind of makes sense as an extension of her unwavering trust shtick, but I mean, come on, surely she could have chosen someone better to put that trust in. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, as unreceptive as she was back there, she wasn't doing it maliciously. Not that I have any right to defend her after all the shit I gave her about it. There we go, from Pearl Fay to Sister Iris. You know, you're making it very hard to tell whether you like her or not. Don't think too hard about it. Just sticking up for an old acquaintance. Anyway, I think I'll head back. As concerned as I am about Morgana, there ain't much I can do. Guards aren't gonna believe the ramblings of some whore, especially not when she's making accusations about the damned Lord. That part's gonna be the real bitch, I figure. If there's anything I can do, let me know. You can find me at the brothel in town. Well, I'm off. Uh, hmm? It's late. I'm not sure how safe it is for you to be wandering around in the dark alone. Maybe I should accompany you. Don't worry. This is my home turf. And besides, if someone did attack, I'm pretty sure I could outrun you. And overpower you at that. Uh, the worst part is she's probably right. But... Oh no! Oh, I think we're going to have an option here. Alright, okay, we do have an option. It's better to be safe, or if you're certain, very well. Do we want to accompany her? I'm always up for more Maria, but... Exactly. I don't have to be faster than the bear. I just have to be faster than you. Alright, do we want to accompany her or not? I mean, I will say she is probably correct. She could take us, outrun us, throw us over her shoulder, like Susato take down us in like 2 seconds flat. I don't know either. Okay, you know what? We're gonna spend more time with Maria. It's better to be safe. I would feel better knowing you made it back safely. I'm telling you, I don't need an escort. But if you insist, you're welcome to accompany me. Maybe staying in the house will get us killed. I don't know. The brothel's in the back streets. If you want, you can even stay for a bit, have a little fun. I don't know how that would look like with our body, if I'm being completely honest, but I think I'll have to pass. Maybe one day you'll get that stick out of your ass. Giselle. Okay, why isn't Giselle responding to us? I don't like this. Giselle,
What? Hello, what is it?
you've been so quiet, I was getting concerned. It's good to know you're still there.
I guess I sort of dozed off for a bit. I'm fine though, no need to worry.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just, remind me what's going on, would you?
You're positive nothing's wrong.
Positive as positive can be. I promise, I just nodded off.
That's fair. I mean, in theory, we probably have an anus. I don't know what we have in the front, but I'm fairly sure we have something in the back. So, yeah, Maria's buddies can probably find something penetrative. Like, I don't know what ye old dildo looks like, but I'm sure something exists. Cucumber? I just convinced Maria to let me escort her back to the brothel.
Seriously?
Should I not have offered?
I didn't think you were thoughtful enough to accompany a lady home at night.
That's a low blow. I thought that's what Didier would have done, so that's what I did.
Oh, I see. Well, make sure she gets back safely then.
I will.
Yo, you just gonna stand there? Get moving or I'll leave you in the dust. All right, this should do. The back streets aren't particularly welcoming to new faces popping up and wandering around after dark. Wouldn't want you to get mugged on your way back. I don't need that on my conscience right now.
All right. Out of curiosity, is the brothel you work at now the same one that was attacked 4 years ago?
Nah, different place. Unless someone's done something with it, the one from 4 years ago is still abandoned. I've thought about fixing it up, getting everyone back together, but there's not many of us left, and, well, I'm not even sure I want to go back myself, you know?
Understandable. What was Morgana like when she was there?
Not sure what to tell you. She never talked much, so I'm not sure if she even liked being around us.
I can assure you she did. She's told me her time at the brothel was one of the few chapters of her life she remembers fondly.
If that's true, that's great to hear. There were times I thought maybe we should take her to an orphanage somewhere. But, well, you know how my experience living at one of those went, so...
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not like a bunch of whores were going to make better parents. So I was never really sure what the right thing to do was. And then after the raid, well, I felt like shit. She didn't have to be there, but I stupidly thought it was a good idea to keep a little girl in the lawless back streets.
I can't tell you what the best choice would have been, but I can tell you her time with you changed her for the better. So you don't need to feel guilty about choosing to keep her there. There we go. We'll open a lemonade stand and raise funds to reopen the brothel. No, what we need to do is start trying to predict people's futures and see how far we can get with that. For 25 cents, you can get your palm read, and we'll tell you who you end up with.
I appreciate it.
If it's not too much trouble, could you tell me about Morgana in more detail?
It's a bit late tonight, so how about tomorrow? Got a little something I want to give you, too.
Oh?
It's nothing much, but you'll see. I'll sneak into the courtyard again tomorrow night.
All right. I'll meet you there then.
Anyway, I'm off. Actually, one last thing before I go. Take this.
What? A knife?
To protect yourself.
You sure don't look like you're carrying anything. I'm not, but if I take this, then you...
It's fine, I've got two.
You have... Collecting pointy things is one of my hobbies. I love her. That doesn't sound like the safest hobby.
Anything with a nice sharp tip sends shivers down my spine. Makes my heart skip a beat.
I'm not sure those are appropriate feelings to have about blades. No, Michael, that's the only feeling to have about blades. Sorry.
This reminds me of the time Jacopo gave Maria a cartridge. She got pretty excited about that, too.
I can understand taking an interest in weaponry. But hers seems somewhat excessive, dangerously so. Anyway, I don't see why you shouldn't take it. She has a point. It is dangerous out at night. I'd honestly rather not be carrying a knife at all. What? Why not? They scare you. Uh, I'll be fine. It's only for self defense, not hurting other people. Really, you don't have to worry about me. I do appreciate the consideration, though. If you say so. Okay, I'll take it. Thank you. It's nothing. Just give it back to me tomorrow night and we're all good. Anyway, see you then. Stay warm. I'm pretty sure I'm dressed much warmer than her. We should get going too. All right. It is chilly tonight, though. Are we going to freeze to death or something? Like, it true? Hmm? Did you hear that? I thought I heard a voice. I did. It came from the bushes over there. I'm going to see if I can get a little closer. There we go. You never know when you might have to fend off an attacker like Mel with the candlestick. About the observation tower. Ah! Do you believe it is? Are we? Are we witnessing a tryst? In any other circumstances, I would just walk away and let them be. But she mentioned the tower, so I can't. We should listen in and try not to get caught. Agreed. Several different people have told me the same thing, that there's someone being held in the tower. Who is the first to mention it? Michael. You know, the man who showed up yesterday? Oh my god, we're gonna die. He's staying in a room in the mansion. Ah, the one with the white hair. Yeah, him. Who else told you? Nellie. And while he hasn't said anything to me personally, she says Mel confirmed it as well. Girl, you're gonna get us all killed. I see. There's no need for concern. The only thing in the tower is the Lord's fortune. Trust me, please. Pauline, you know how many enemies the Lord has? You know how many of them would like nothing more than to see him fall. This allegation that he has someone imprisoned on his personal property is nothing more than a fabrication by these people. Don't be one of them. Support him. Support me. It's a terrible shame Mel and Nellie think the Lord would do such a thing. Don't listen to him, Pauline. He's lying to you. Should I stay hidden, or should I intervene? I believe you more than anyone in the world. You have my complete trust, you know that. But I would still like to see for myself. Thank God. If there's no one in the tower, then that proves their accusations are baseless. Pauline. I want to trust you even more. So please, let me see what's in the observation tower. Please. You say there's no one there, so it shouldn't be any problem, right? Okay. I'll talk to the Lord when he's here tomorrow. I can't let you in without his permission, of course. But once I've spoken with him, I'll take you to see what's in the tower. Thank you. It's getting late. You should head back. Okay. Don't look so glum, Pauline. We'll see each other again tomorrow night, as usual. Yeah. Well, good night. Good night. It sounds like she convinced him. I wouldn't be so sure about that. He could always move Morgana before letting Pauline in. We'll have to keep a close eye on him tomorrow. Oh no. I know you're out there. What? Show yourself. Oh no. If you won't come to me, then I'll come to you. I have a good idea where you're hiding. Michael? Finally decided to show yourself, did you? How did you know I was there? Simple. I can sense the presence of others. That's hardly what I would call simple for most people. I was hoping to enjoy the show a little longer. Huh? You remember what I said at supper about our little sideshow? What about it? Well, it looks like we have to go off script. Go off what? You still don't get it? He he sounds pretty agitated, Michael. You need to get out of there now. Can you not see him, Giselle? What? He's got his hand on his sword. I can't risk turning my back on him. I should have stepped in while Pauline was still around. I don't have many opportunities to do this these days, so I was planning on taking it nice and slow. There are so many obstructions outside. It kind of makes this kind of work difficult. Michael! If you care about the nun, about Pauline, if she really means something to you, then you need to set Morgana free. Keeping her locked up will bring no one anything but pain, and that includes Pauline. And why should I care? Man, I do not like that expression. I forgot how fucking unhinged he was as Bestia for a second. Michael! I feel something resembling a gale. And the next thing I know, the man's inches away from me, swinging his sword down. The knife! Miraculously, I managed to get the blade out just in time, catching his sword mid-descent with a sharp clang. For a very brief moment, a look of perplexity crosses his face. Now's my chance to run. Oh. Michael! Ow. I stagger from the impact, and as I fall to the ground, I catch sight of it. The curved blade sticking out of my chest. Oh yeah, I don't think we're surviving this one. He must have thrown his sword to prevent my escape. Uh, uh, Michael, what's happening? Stay with me. You have to stay with me. Uh, I focus on the searing pain spreading through my chest to keep my mind from growing any hazier, and begin crawling, trying to put some distance between us. And from behind, the man slammed his heel into my back. How anticlimactic. I thought you'd hold out a little longer, considering you managed to brandish that knife. Don't. Please, what are you doing? Get away from him! I'm begging you, spare him! There's a name engraved in the handle. So it's not even your knife. Maria? Put that down. Michael! Who did you get this from? My dude, you have... I'll give you 2 guesses. But you can read the fucking handle. Answer me. Not feeling cooperative, are we? That knife has always belonged to me. Maria simply refers to the Virgin Mary. Well, it shouldn't be too hard to find out who they are. I know it's not her, at least. So Mel, his sister, and this Maria are all colluding with you? What are you going to do to them? Well, that should be obvious. Leave them alone! No, why did this have to happen? It's not funny. The more lives you take, the farther you become from human. That's not what you want, is it? I've always been a killer. I've always had this insatiable urge to take life. But I know you also wanted to be... Enjoy your reunion with them in the afterlife. Michael! Oh. No! At least beg for your life, would you? Don't. Please stop this. Crawl through the dirt like the worm you are and beg for me to spare you. Why Why are you doing this? No, please, please stop. Th- Not even a scream, really? You're no fun. Stop it, don't do this. No! The man's deranged cackling and Giselle's desperate screams began fading into the distance. I've long since lost any sort of idea about the condition of my body. In my attempts to save Giselle and Morgana, I've managed to not only fail that, but endanger everyone who is kind enough to help me. What have I accomplished? Anything at all? Well, not like that. Can he read English? I mean, he must. He can at least sound out words, I guess. All right, well, I guess we're not walking Maria home. We'll just trust she can get home on her own. She's a strong, independent woman who needs no escort, I guess. I appreciate the thought. See ya. Uh, Hold on a second. Hmm? Something else you needed? I would like, if you could, for you to tell me about the time you spent with Morgana. Anything you can, no matter how insignificant it may seem. I want to know what kind of life she had there. How's tomorrow sound? Tomorrow? I'll sneak into the courtyard tomorrow night. Meet me there and I'll tell you what you want to know. Why not now, though? No real reason. Just need a little time to sort things through. Hmm? See you tomorrow night. Stay warm. Uh, Not even a chance to get another word in. Also, I feel like I'm dressed much warmer than her. Tomorrow night. That doesn't leave us with much time. Giselle? Giselle? What? Hello. What is it? You've been so quiet, I was getting concerned. It's good to know you're still there. I guess I sort of dozed off for a bit. I'm fine, though. No need to worry. Are you sure? I think we should head back, too. We've done about everything we can today. You're right. Running into Maria was a great stroke of luck. Thanks to her, we now have confirmation that the nun is indeed Pauline, and we potentially convinced Pauline to try and talk to the swordsman. Depending on how things pan out tomorrow, we could be getting very close to accomplishing our goal. I'm sure it'll be smooth sailing, just like with Mel. I certainly hope so. I don't know about that, if I'm being completely honest, but you know what? We got girl talk and I loved it, so. So before you go to sleep, do you want to talk for a bit? Of course. In fact, I was about to ask you the same thing. That's what you say, but on the inside, you actually enjoy being surrounded by girls more than talking to me, don't you? And you seem to enjoy teasing me. I'm just kidding. Truthfully, I don't think I've ever wished you were there to save me more than then. I've never been comfortable in such spirited environments. Put 3 women in a room and it'll get like that, yeah. It can be overstimulating. I could not have been more out of my element. I don't know, you seem to fit in pretty well to me. You really think so? You made for a great plaything. Oh yes, I'm quite good at that, aren't I? I will say, there was one thing about the whole affair that surprised me. Oh? What would that be? I did not expect I would be able to have such a normal social interaction. And not because I'm awkward or a poor conversationalist. For most of my life, I was cursed, irregular, and you were the only one who didn't treat me like that. That came to be what I saw as normal. And as such, being able to participate in a social gathering like that is a very exotic sensation. It feels almost like it shouldn't be possible. You are normal, Michael. An ordinary man. This right here, this is what I wish I always had in life. And for me to finally attain it in death, though I suppose lamenting the details would make me ungrateful. I'm glad to have had the experience, though. I'm glad to hear it.
So,
Hmm?
I know I've been talking about how much I want to save Morgana, and that hasn't changed. Neither has my desire to change everyone's future. But if you want to leave this place, to go somewhere far away and have a life of your own, you have my full support. You've got everything you ever wanted. You have the right to choose to stay here, live in this time.
I wouldn't dream of it. I'm not going to leave you trapped in that darkness. I will not make the same mistake twice. Regardless, there's no point in me choosing a life without you there as well, in the flesh.
Okay then. Well, I'll be in here waiting.
Hopefully not for long. I really think Morgana and I have a great deal in common.
What?
One, the daughter of God, one, a demon child. We were both forced into inhuman roles, living lives of solitude, constantly having things we cared about taken away from us, including, ultimately, our lives. The big difference between me and her is that I had you. If you hadn't been there at the end of my mortal life, perhaps I too would have grown to despise those who had put me through such misery, curse their very souls. I'm starting to have this conspiracy theory, and this is kind of relating to Chat's question of has President Morgana been telling Giselle things behind our back? I don't know if I'm right here, because I'm probably not, but I'm wondering a little bit whether upon Morgana's death, maybe she split, right? We've got the like kind version of Morgana that split into us, and then her resentment and hatred and anger all stayed behind in the tower. I don't know, I have no idea. But we keep making parallels between the two of us, so it could just be like we're set up as foils, or we've done like a Ventus Vanitas kind of thing. I don't know. She had no one, though. Not a single person to be there for her final days.
From what she told us, though, her life wasn't all sorrow and misery. She did eventually come to find happiness in her time at the brothel.
In fact, she's even said that that was where she learned to experience joy.
While I know there were a number of girls there, if Maria was one of them she was particularly close with, perhaps her being here could have a positive effect on Morgana. We'll have to see what she says tomorrow night.
That we will. And then our time limit is noon the next day. So we'll need to have everything necessary figured out by then. Everything it will take for her to have a change of heart.
I'm not worried one bit. I have complete confidence in you, Michael.
I am somewhat worried.
What's there to worry about? Here, I'll shout, "You can do it 100 times."
So you're planning to cheer me to death?
I just want every last bit of you to know that I'm rooting for you.
I assure you, you've made that abundantly clear.
Hey, there was something I wanted to tell you, if that's all right.
Yes?
When I learned about your past and about your body, it came as a big shock to me. That said, I'm confident you know that my feelings for you haven't changed one bit.
I do.
But what I want you to know is that even if I had found out back then, instead of after having waited hundreds of years for you to return, my feelings still would not have changed. If you had told me while we were alive, I would have still accepted you. Now, of course, I know it's not something you could have come out with so easily, especially considering everything you went through because of it. We only lived together for a little over a year, and we were only partners for a month. So I understand how difficult it would have been to think that I wouldn't push you away. But I'm not sure you grasped just how much I loved you, even then. My wounds ran deeper than even I knew, and them fully healing was simply not possible. Anyone else's touch, anyone else's warmth, my heart and body would have rejected. I sincerely wish I had expressed that to you more clearly. That it had to be you. That I needed you. I did believe at the time that I could start over with you. That we could have a normal life together. Or, well, I fooled myself into believing it. But I could never rid myself of the guilt and shame at how it was impossible for me to give that to you. I would imagine our future together. You smiling with our children in your arms, playing with them, scolding them, teaching them. Why? How did we jump all the way to children? Holy shit, Michael. And then I would remember I'm incapable of giving you those children, of even engaging in the prerequisite acts. And the more I wished for your happiness, the tighter that guilt constricted me. I do apologize for not saying anything. You carried far more weight than any one person should ever have to carry alone. But you don't have to do that anymore. For one, I'll support you no matter what. And in this time, you're normal to everyone, not only me. You have allies. You don't have to take everything on yourself anymore. I love you, Michael. I do. I absolutely adore you. But where is this coming from? I wanted to say it, so I did. Is that a problem?
No, no problem.
You're blushing, aren't you? Your cheeks are as red as tomatoes. Oh, I wish I could see you now.
I'm going to open the window.
Why? It's night. It's going to get cold.
Exactly. I need to cool down. The more I think about my, like, good and evil sort of split with Morgana, the more I kind of like it, if I'm being completely honest. That is true. I have seen Giselle. I do not blame Michael for wanting to have babies with her. It's just, as a complete commitment phobe, I have a problem immediately jumping to that. Because that's a lot of commitment there. I don't know about you. But anyways, as I was saying, the more I think about it, the more I actually kind of like where that concept would go if Michael and Morgana were derived from the same thing. Partially because then it's kind of Morgana rescuing herself. But also it would kind of explain why Morgana wanted Giselle to stay in the tower for so long. I don't know. Plus, like, if we're keeping along with the Morgana is actually the white-haired girl, then there's actually that link there. I don't know what that means, but yeah, exactly. It would explain why we're trying to help Morgana identify with Abby. So that would be like the hidden link, or a more explained link, I guess. Like Abby would be almost the link between us, maybe. And then it ends up being, you know, like we're struggling against all of the anger and pain and everything that we have experienced. Because we're literally facing it as Morgana. Plus, if you think about our stories, there's a lot of parallels, right? So, like, our body gets disfigured as we go through puberty. Morgana loses her arm and loses her face, and she doesn't lose her face. Her face gets marred and everything from being imprisoned in the Lord's Tower, or in the Lord's Mansion thing. Which would maybe kind of explain why the mansion that we're stuck in is, you know, the mansion. Maybe it's the same mansion. I don't know. I'm just conspiracy theorying at this point. There we go. What if we aren't changing the past? This is just a pocket dimension representing the past, and freeing Morgana will give her catharsis. Maybe. Yeah, what if this is just purgatory? I haven't seen Lost, so I can't. I probably can't make that joke. But okay.
Huh? What are you eyeing at?
It's a spring snow. It's gorgeous. There was hardly a cloud when I was outside earlier, and now it's snowing.
Are you worried Maria might catch something out in this weather?
Hopefully she's in bed by now. I've never seen it snow in the spring before. Maybe I just wasn't paying any attention to what lay beyond the dark walls of that house.
Maybe.
Have you
Have I?
seen a springtime snow before?
3 or 4 times, perhaps. So not very often, no.
So you've seen this already?
Would it have been better if I hadn't?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I just thought it would be nice if it was the first time for both of us.
You sound like a little kid.
Is it that childish? Well, I don't mind either way. I'm still glad my first time seeing it isn't alone. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Little specks of white drifting through the darkness?
Yes, I can see it. It's beautiful. I'm happy I could see this with you, too.
Yeah, we went through puberty and lost our chunk. Morgana's puberty lost her arm. Look, puberty for girls is hard. I'm sure it is for guys, too. But I can attest, puberty for girls is hard.
You don't want the wind to cool you off too much now. I think it's time for you to warm back up.
Sorry, I was so engrossed by the sight.
Maybe it'll stick and you can see it again tomorrow. The grounds would be quite lovely covered in snow. But for now, you should get some sleep.
I suppose. I'm a little bit worried if we go to sleep, Giselle won't be there in the morning because she's like losing herself almost.
You already passed out once today. You need to make sure you're well rested. Hi there, welcome back.
Hard to argue with that. I'll be counting on your help again tomorrow. Our success or failure depends on how tomorrow goes.
That it does. Let's make it count.
Good night, Giselle.
Good night, Michael.
Oh my god, is she going to be there in the morning? I'm so stressed. Oh, don't do this to me.
Giselle, please come back.
I'm really enjoying it. It is a wonderful visual novel so far. I think we've got conspiracy theories. I can't wait to see how everything wraps up. Okay, one day until her death. That's fair. Our success does depend on Yukimasa not just immediately murdering us after Pauline rats us out. Where the fuck are we? He did say he wanted to take his time with us. Huh? My head feels like someone drove a spike through it. What's going on? Am I in the cellar? Oh no. Oh, what's happening to us? I didn't even fuck up the answer this time. What? My hands are tied up behind my back. What am I doing down here? Wait. Giselle? Giselle? Say something, Giselle. Yeah, I thought that was going to happen too. Oh my god, like, we're just in worst case scenarios here. Unable to make any sort of sense out of my circumstances, it's not long after I regain consciousness that panic begins to sink in. And the most unsettling thing of all, the most frightening detail, is the fact that I can't hear her voice. Oh no. Giselle, what? We lost Giselle. Pauline ratted us out. Like, everything went wrong. At least Maria won't die, I guess. Because he doesn't have the knife, I guess. Oh, wait, Garvey. Are you the one who brought me here? Oh, what? You don't remember this morning? Morning? Right. I woke up because I heard someone enter the room, and then he hit me over the head. You're not dead, at least. That's good. What do you hope to accomplish by tying me up and bringing me down here? I'm gonna guess killing us slowly. if I'm being quite honest. Yeah.
Remember what I said last night at supper about me putting on a little sideshow for you?
What?
I was reenacting the Last Supper, with you as the guest of honor.
Lovely. Can't wait for whatever the fuck's gonna happen here. Oh, now I see. Yeah, Pauline, now would be a very good time to please walk in. Because I think you're the only one who won't immediately stab, so...
Oh, now I see. When you were asking if I had any family or friends, you were trying to find out if anyone would notice if I disappeared. If anyone would make any noise. You're sharper than you look.
Yeah, well, not sharp enough to get that at the time.
If only you'd caught on yesterday. Please, Giselle. Say something. Giselle!
Why won't you answer me? Why can't I hear your voice?
Why can't I feel you there? You're a quiet one. I thought you'd be a little louder.
What made you decide to get rid of me?
Did the nun say something? She has nothing to do with this. I had permission from the Lord to act at my own discretion, should I come across anyone acting suspicious. This doesn't seem in the least bit wrong to you. I wouldn't say that. You're an acquaintance's friend who made a long trip to come see him, and I have you tied up in the cellar.
Oh, I'm glad you at least realize how fucking insane this is.
That's not what I would consider right, no. But seeing as you're good enough friends for him to let you stay here, I assume he's also spilled everything. He never had what it took, that boy. If I were to guess, it got to be too much for him to handle, so he went to a friend. To you. Leave him out of this. I see. So, how much did he tell you? If you come clean, I might even let you go. Get rid of him, have you take his place.
I said leave him out of this.
So you're determined not to talk, are you? What a loyal friend. Listen to me. Listen. Oh, I'm listening. Because you have a lot of talking to do. I don't have many chances to let loose. So I'll be taking as much time as I can get today. He says in an eerily flat tone of voice as he draws nearer, pausing between each step as if to taunt me.
Oh my god, we're gonna die.
And when he reaches me, struggling to get off the ground, he slams his heel into my shoulder.
What is with him using his feet? Knock it off. Your shoes are probably not clean. I know that's not what I should be worried about here, but...
Not being able to use your hands makes you appreciate how much easier it is to stand up when you can, doesn't it?
Yeah, flashbacks to Amy. I forgot about that, but...
Help! Someone, please, help! Don't waste your energy. No one ever comes back this far. And the door is so heavy, your screams would never make it out. But that's the least of your worries. The door to the cellar's been locked, and the only key is right here. There's no getting in. If you can run fast enough, you might have a chance of making it to the door and escaping. Want to test your luck? I doubt you can make it. He puts the full weight of his body into his heel, pressing down on my spine, turning my breaths into gasping sputters. I gather together all my strength, but even that isn't enough to overpower him. Now, you're going to tell me everything. What are you and the boys scheming?
What's your end game? Who else is in on it?
Damn it! I don't have many options here. What can I even do in this situation? Tell me what I want to know, and maybe I'll let you live. I guess I have no choice but to tell him the truth. All right, fine, I'll tell you everything. Just know that this isn't some attempt to beg for mercy. I came to this mansion in order to unlock the door to the observation tower and free Morgana. Mel was not the one who told me about her, though. I went to him and asked for his assistance. He didn't have to tell me because I already knew.
about both her and what you're doing to her, stealing her blood and making medicine from it. Who told you then? Morgana did. Morgana's soul told me everything. I'm not from this time. I lived in a time after her death. Yeah, I didn't think that one was going to go over well, but yeah, I guess it was worth a shot. It takes me several moments to process what just happened. A fire runs up my arm from my little finger, only turning into pain when it finally reaches my brain. I twist my head back to see the man on top of me holding my right hand. Oh no, my finger snapped backwards at the second joint. The- uh, I'll ask you again. Who told you? Morgana did. She dies on the day of the harvest festival. Next up is your ring finger. And then your middle, if you insist on keeping this up. Glad he has a thing about fingers, because it wasn't that what he was... exactly, yeah, enough with the finger stuff. I'm telling you the truth. She bears so much hatred, she casts a curse on your souls. I've seen what happens in your next life. Oh. Ah! Now you're resorting to souls and next lives. I'm genuinely impressed. What lies are you going to cook up next, white-haired knave? If I don't set Morgana free, your souls will be enslaved for all eternity, imprisoned in this cursed mansion. When the bell tolls noon on the day of the harvest festival, you'll lose everything. All of you will. You cannot escape it unless you do something. And the nun, the reason you locked Morgana up in the first place, she won't be safe either. She'll be killed. Oh. Ah. Ah. 2 fingers left. Can you keep up the act that long? Oh, that's a good idea. Should we tell him his name is Yukimasa to convince him? Like that might actually work here. Everything I'm saying is the truth. I've seen it all with my own 2 eyes. Why are you so insistent on maintaining this farce? Is it to protect the boy, or do you have some other motive? Every last word is true. Continuing to lie isn't going to make this any easier. Your voice is shaking. The pain is starting to get to you, isn't it? What you're doing to Morgana, it achieves nothing. You must release her and atone for your sins. Otherwise, your soul and the souls of those you care about will be doomed to suffering. I see what this is now. You don't have the information I want, so all you can do is spin these lies. You thick-skulled bastard! There are other options, though. Beg me for mercy. Sob like a little child, sniveling your "please don't kill me's" and "I don't want to die's" and "it hurts so bad, please stops." Grovel on the ground, you tiny, pathetic man, and if you can entertain me, maybe I'll consider it. I will never shed another tear, and I will never beg for your damn mercy. Nothing I've said to you has been a lie. Some cheap attempt to fool you into letting me go. Every word of it is true. I know the sins you've burdened your soul with. I know the fate that awaits you in your next life, and I will gladly tell you every detail. Oh. You're down to just your thumb. Now go on if you're so eager to tell me. Let's hear about my supposed next life, shall we? So if we die here, or black out or something, are we going to go talk to Morgana again? Like, just thinking about what happened when we passed out from the sunlight, like, we went to go have that great scene with Morgana, so I'm trying to figure out, are we just gonna have a broken hand for the rest of all this time? Because that's gonna suck, probably. In your next life, you lose your memory in an accident, causing you to forget your own humanity. The innate savagery you normally keep hidden beneath a mask is released, unrestricted, and you turn into a creature no more than... No, you turn into a beast. My mask? You murder countless people, including the woman you once called your lover. Lover? Hers is a name you know very well. Pauline, your tether. My tether? How do you know that word? Because I know everything. I know what you wanted. I know what you were never able to obtain. You idolized humanity and you yearned for peace. You're telling me I killed a nun in my next life? I am. That is the fate that lies waiting for you. Her love for you is so strong she refuses to believe you're dead. She leaves her seaside hometown in search of you, and she finds you. But you slaughter her. Did you say she lived in a city on the sea? In addition to her, you also lose someone else, a woman who tried to give you the peace you so desired, which eventually causes you to succumb entirely to instinct. Enough! Oh, well, there went our thumb. All right, fine. Now I know what you are. You're no mere seasoned liar. You're some kind of evil spirit that deceives humans. You're peering into my heart, tailoring your lies specifically to manipulate me. I'm not. I swear, I have seen everything that happens. Enough. But there's a chance you can change your fate. All you have to do is seize your involvement in Morgana's imprisonment, set her free, allay the hatred she bears for you. Are you deaf? I said I've heard enough. Release Morgana. Save your soul. Give her a better future. Silence. That's probably not good. I think I'll take your arm off first. No! Well, Morgana, we're gonna match. Cut right through your shoulder, nice and slowly. Don't. It'll still be attached for a while yet, don't you worry. You hear that, spirit? That's the sound of your flesh ripping apart, the sound of your muscles being severed. Not going to be doing much talking anymore, are you? Not through the pain, you aren't. Plead for your life, spirit. Beg for mercy. I had RuPaul's Drag Race lip sync for your life in that performance. I apologize. There we go. I didn't know I had that many fingers left to break. Admit it was all a sham. Apologize. Let the room fill with your cries of agony. Nothing was a sham. Every last word, it's all the truth. I'll rip that head right off your shoulders. I don't care who or what you are anymore. You're dead. You will do no such thing. Huh? Get back. You will not harm him further. You know, Pauline, you could have come like 5 minutes ago, but honestly, I won't complain here. Pauline. What? What are you doing here, Pauline? I told you to stay away. And the door was locked. I opened it. You! Thank you. One of Nellie's hairpins was long enough to get into the lock and undo it. She won't be getting much use out of it anymore, though. Busted it up pretty badly in the process. The locks on the tower door are too complex, but this one here is a lot simpler. Bet you never expected me to go cat burglar on you, huh? You stupid boy. Oh, what was your question last night again? Something about being on the edge of a cliff or whatever? Well, here's your answer. I'll do everything I can to save both of them. You know what? I was not expecting this kind of steal from Mel, but I love it. Exactly, Nellie the lockpick. We're going to have such a fun time. This is terrible. How could you? Oh my, you're badly hurt. Do I still have my arm? I figure the fingers are gone, but Did he actually remove my arm, or was he just getting ready to?
Sit tight. I'll call for a doctor.
Don't worry about me. You need to talk to him, to get him to talk.
We've got to do something about you, though. I'll get that wound patched up at least until you can get it properly checked out.
Thank you. Was it you who went to get Pauline?
No, I ran into her while I was looking for you, which is when she told me she was looking for him. Neither of us were having any luck, so we scoured the mansion together. And when we reached the stairs to the cellar and heard the screaming, my worst fears were confirmed.
You're telling me this man did not even go to a soundproof location? Okay, well, this man is the worst assassin in history, but...
So I picked the lock, and here we are. Sorry we didn't make it sooner. This could have been avoided. God, look at what he did to you. There's so much blood. And your fingers.
That's true. He probably does not have a soundproof location. I mean, he could have dragged us, like, way out into the woods. If he managed to drag us out here, I can't imagine it would be that much harder to, get us out there. That's fair.
No, you made it just in time. My arm's
still attached. It's still attached.
And I'm not dead. Neither of which would be true without you. So I guess that means I actually did something good for once. Did something for someone other than myself.
That you did.
So everything Michael said is true? The Lord isn't storing his valuables in the tower. He's got a girl locked in there? Well, is it true or not?
It's still the Lord's property either way. The church is being funded with her miracle blood. So that makes her valuable. Yes. Well, that's a lawyer reasoning there. There we go. Good job, Mel. You get a bronze star on your good noodle board. If you'd come 5 minutes later and I'd had all my fingers still, you would get a gold star.
So you're saying I've been handing out human blood and telling people it was medicine?
Not human. Witch. No, Morgana is a human girl. She hasn't become a witch yet. At least not here.
All this time, I've been lying to the people who believe in me, without even knowing what I was doing.
Like you said, you didn't know. You haven't done anything wrong.
Ignorance does not excuse sin. All that time I spent with you, and I didn't notice anything wrong.
That was the idea. You weren't supposed to notice anything. It's not your fault that I deceived you. It's unreasonable to think you should have been able to.
All that. You did it to help me, though, didn't you? Like a stupid little girl, I assumed it was all out of the good of your heart. Never once stopping to think any deeper than that, about where it was all coming from. Maria was right. I was blind. I was content to be pleased about the people I thought I was helping. I want you to do something for me. I want you to set Morgana free. Please, do not make your sins any greater than they already are.
But without the witch's blood, we lose the Lord's patronage, and then the church...
What good is a church that isn't actually saving anyone? Actually, no. That's avoiding the point entirely.
What do you mean?
To tell you the truth, I never really cared about the church at all.
What? How can you say that? When you've always been so unconditionally charitable, even if it meant giving away food or money you needed yourself. People call you the saintess because that's what you are. A saint.
It's true, I do that. But the fact is, I'm no saint. I don't deserve to be held up as one, nor do I belong in that position. I'm just an ordinary girl. I never wanted to be a nun, you know. I just didn't have any other options available to me. And I sure didn't have the confidence to make it out there on my own like Maria. So I did as I was told. And to keep myself from thinking it was a mistake, from feeling dissatisfied with that choice, I put everything I had into my responsibilities to the church. My unconditional charity was rooted entirely in selfishness. And the longer I kept it up, the harder it became to stop. I forgot what I really wanted.
And what would that be?
A normal, happy life as an ordinary girl.
In a city on the water.
What?
That's what you said your dream was. For your next life.
Right. Yeah. A quiet life with the man I love.
You might... You might get that wish, in fact.
Huh?
You. That's what you said, wasn't it? That in her next life she lives in a city by the sea? That's correct. In your next life, Pauline, you're not a nun. You're an ordinary girl who lives in a seaside city. A sweet, cheerful, energetic girl who wears her heart on her sleeve. You have both your mother and father. And I... So you believe me now? I don't know. Your claims are utterly ridiculous. But it's getting harder to think you're lying. If that's what you really wanted, Pauline, what should I have done instead? I envied what you had. That solace. The last thing I wanted was for you to lose it. But you're saying you found no peace in that life?
That's right.
So what should I have done?
I wanted you to take me away from this place, somewhere far away. I wanted you to make it so that I could be Pauline, not Marie. That would have been my ideal life. To live with you, to have a family with you.
How was I supposed to know?
You couldn't possibly have known. I realized that. And that makes me every bit as complicit as you. Set Morgana free.
I will be expected to pay for my crimes. That itself is not a problem. I have every intention of facing the consequences. But we have done terrible, gruesome things. I don't know what the usual punishment is for such. For such is in this land. But if I had to guess, I would say execution. And me being an outsider makes it easier for people to place the blame on me. I won't be able to take you away.
We'll find each other again. In our next lives. Okay?
Okay. Yet no, Pauline, you are not nearly as complicit as the guy who chopped her arm off. Also, yeah, I have a problem even considering her complicit. She didn't know. And just because she didn't tell him, like, no, I want you to take me away, does not necessarily mean she told him, yes, I want you to imprison a girl so that we can take her blood and sell it as medicine so that the church can be funded. Like, I'm pretty sure most churches don't actually live off of that money or, like, run off of that kind of money. Maybe I'm wrong, but as I'm sure you heard, my involvement in this conspiracy ends here. I'm glad to hear you've decided to take action. Sorry about your fingers and arm. I'm still alive. That's what matters. The third key is in the Lord's possession. You said you needed it by noon of the harvest festival, yes? which means we need to act quickly. That's correct. We must set Morgana free before the bell tolls noon tomorrow. Then tonight, that's the next time the Lord will be here. Tonight, I'll kill him and take his key. Oh, and that's when Maria will be here. Wait, no, we're not shedding any blood to get his key.
D- do you remember what I said a few minutes ago about not committing any further sins?
He's not likely to hand over the key without a fight, though.
We need to convince him, not force his hand. Besides, simply opening the door is not enough.
Why not?
My goal here is to save Morgana's soul. In order to do that, I need to pacify at least some degree of the hatred she bears in it. A hatred rooted in her perception of you and the things you've done to her. I need to change that perception.
I'm not quite following.
What do you mean by change her perception? For you and the Lord to tell your stories, to describe what happened from your perspectives.
You want my perspective?
I do. Something in your motivations or your circumstances might serve to lessen the animosity she holds for you.
There we go. Churches get their money from donations, not selling blood. The blood of the Christ is shared in the Eucharist without any monetary transaction. See, my dude, you could have become one of those that like goes door to door and asks for money. You didn't have to imprison a girl for her blood.
The greater the discrepancy in what she believes to be the truth and the full story, with everyone's perspectives included, the greater the chance she may have a change of heart.
Okay, I now understand what you want from me.
However, my perspective will do nothing to serve that end.
There is no ambiguity, no justification for my actions.
Regardless, I would still like to know the whole truth, if you're willing to tell me your part of it.
Okay. I'll come by your room later today.
Hey! Is it alright if I'm there too?
Sorry, I would rather if you weren't.
Why?
Everything you need to know, I've told you already. I captured a witch. No. I kidnapped a young girl for profit and imprisoned her in the tower. My motivation, as I said, was to keep your church funded. Those are the facts. Exactly. We don't doubt that you'll still come off as a bastard in your own story, but we still want to hear it. We can judge how much of a bastard you come off as. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's still going to come off in the asshole side of the scale.
The things I did along the way were brutal and inhumane. I hope you can understand why I wouldn't want the woman I love to hear any of that. I understand.
I'll see you again later in the day. I'll be waiting.
I should get going too. You're going to need medication and something to get that arm dressed properly. And if there's anything else I can get you, let me know. If you want to see a doctor, I'll find you the best one I can. I'm so sorry for ever doubting you.
No, I understand. I'm glad you came at all.
Me too. Well, see you. I'm kinda surprised. He's actually got a soft spot, huh?
And I was sure you were full of it when you said the two of them had a thing going.
What does she see in a guy like him anyway?
She's got bad taste in guys, that's for sure.
What's with that look?
Just admiring your rather inappropriate remarks.
Sorry. I was just so relieved it kind of came out.
It's okay. You almost got a smile out of me.
I've never seen you smile before.
I blame being relieved too. Now, would you mind helping me get back to my room?
Sure, no problem. My shoulder's all yours. You know, you really are something else, Michael. I could hear you through the door as I was getting it opened. And honestly, I'm amazed you were able to stand up to him like that. I don't want to get my hopes up too high just yet, but
I'm starting to think you might actually be able to do something about the Lord. That's reassuring. Thank you. Sure. Anyway, let's get going. You should get as much rest as you can until he shows up. Well, I mean, you should be going to see a doctor with these wounds. Oh, yeah, Nellie's been worried sick about you all day. I'll have to tell her not to pounce on you because I'm sure she'll come running as soon as she hears we found you. Giselle, you were right. I do have people here who will support me. People who are grateful for me and who show concern for me. But you have to know, Giselle, that it's your voice that I want to hear more than anyone else's. Why can I not hear you? Where are you, Giselle? Giselle. All right, I think we're going to end here for tonight. I think this is a good place to stop. We've like broken all of our fingers and maybe some of our toes. And yeah, our arm is like only half on or something. Um, but hey, it sounds like we'll have the second key. So only one key left. And it looks like the next the next chapter is called Karma. So that's probably not a good sign. But we'll end here. Next stream is Sunday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. And I don't have any announcements. So we'll end right now. Thanks for hanging out and be back on Sunday. Good night, all. Bye bye.